I'm Vonya Womack with Refugees Unknown Stories Untold, where we work to bring stories to you about different places in the world and different people in the world, many whom are refugees or those in exile. And today we have Tahmina Payenda. And Tahmina is a young student. She is actually located here at Columbia University, where she recently came, where she is studying and currently trying to figure out what kind of major she wants to have. But we are so happy to have you, Tahmina, and we really look forward to hearing about your time in Afghanistan, where you grew up, and the country and place that you know, and also what has happened there. And we're also going to talk about the girls your age in Afghanistan right now. So if you would start off maybe and just tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit of the history about you growing up in Afghanistan, in Kabul.
Okay, thank you for having me today. My name is Tahmina Payenda. I am 21 years old, originally from Kabul, Afghanistan. I was born there, raised there, spent 20 years of my life there before I became a refugee, got out, fled with my family to Tajikistan, and then I was there for more than a year. And then I applied to Columbia University. From there, from Tajikistan, I got admitted and I came to the United States. The life in Afghanistan, it was beautiful. Like, so many people think of it as war and violence and all that stuff, but if you're inside, then you don't pay attention to that much because the people are amazing. Like, it is my home, but I'm sure everybody who has come to Kabul for like maybe some time, they know what it feels like to be there. It is so great. The places are beautiful. Like, there are so many historical and natural places that one can visit. It could be a very good tourist destination, but because of war, people don't like, they don't want to come put their life in danger, but there are some that are coming and going still even today. I would say if anyone has a chance to get there, maybe they should try. Like, I know it's hard, I know it's difficult, but it's worth a try because of the people. They're really hospitable. They make you feel at home. They do whatever to make you feel happy. Like, they want to talk to strangers, take them to their home for free, bring them chai, food, dry fruits, and all that stuff. They're really kind. The people are amazing.
That's wonderful. Would you say that with the Taliban in power right now, it would still be something that people should think about doing?
I would say yes.
Okay, why would you say that?
Not just because people are amazing, but because when you look at it from outside, it feels different. But when you get into the place, you kind of get an idea of what life looks like there for girls, for women, for the whole people of Afghanistan. I don't know, but maybe it impacts you more if you get in and then see what's happening there. Yeah, I think that makes positive changes. Like, people who have gone there, most of them, especially journalists, they're like, they devote their whole life into bringing awareness to Afghanistan situation because they feel it when they get in. Like, when they go there, they feel what Afghans feel every day. And I think that is really good.
I think that's very true, because I've talked to several people that have spent time or even lived in Afghanistan, and that's exactly what they say about how beautiful it is, and definitely how beautiful the people are there. So let me go into a little bit girls your age. So you're 21 years old, and I know that you have friends back in Afghanistan now. Tell me what it was like. Let's go back even like 10 years ago, and then maybe 5 years ago, and then talk about what's happened now with your friends back at home.
Okay, so 5 years ago, I was back in high school. Everything was just so great. I know sometimes some bombs happen like here and there, and then we had people who lost their lives in them, but overall the educational system was great. Like, we could go out together, me and my friends. We could talk to each other like for very comfortably about everything we wanted. We could study, we could hang out, we could do whatever we wanted, and I thought we were free. I know we sometimes complained about the educational system, about the government and all that, but who thought one day would lose all of it? Like we made great memories together, like people do in every other country. Girls together, they got out, they hanged out, they made memories, they talked to each other, they told stories and all that stuff, and I think it was great. But if somebody ever told me that this thing would happen in 21st century in Afghanistan, I would never believe it, because I was living there and everything was getting better.
Tell me about one of those memories that you have with your girlfriends.
Okay, so there are a lot. I'm thinking of finding one to share. I don't know, but we always celebrated our birthdays.
Oh,
if we were studying, we had a group, and I think we were like the intelligent ones in the class, and we would always study. Like the others would say, "Oh, come and play with us. Let's talk and let's have fun." And we're like, "No, the exams are near. We need to study." And then the only times that we took a break was birthdays, and then we would celebrate it. We would surprise one of our friends. We would bring a cake, and we would invite all the class, and then we threw a surprise birthday party for our friends, and I think that was cool.
Fun. That's fun.
Yeah,
so
we took pictures, and yeah, it was great.
That's
in the
neat.
class, like in the classroom in high school.
That's great. That's so fun. So tell me then, what is it like for girls now? Like, are they able to throw birthday parties, or your friends, are they able to throw birthday parties for each other? Are they, what's different? What's changed with the Taliban coming in?
Like, maybe the question is what has not changed, because everything changed.
Yeah.
Like everything. Now all of them are at home. We have a group chat in WhatsApp, and whenever I open that, I feel like heartbreaking, because they're like, what am I gonna do from now on? Because the universities, it seems that they will never open it, and I'm afraid of what's gonna happen to me in the future, what my education would look like. What am I gonna do? They're all what they're writing there, and they're afraid of going out sometimes.
Why are they afraid of going out?
I don't know, like they're concerned because it's their first time seeing Taliban face to face.
Okay.
Yeah, because people my age, they have never been like that. People older, they have an experience of what's like to be under the Taliban rule, but for us, it's totally new. They tell me that whenever they look out of the window, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go out." Like that.
What do they see?
The Taliban, like they are having their guns on their shoulders, going from this side to the other side, and even in universities, like the offices on universities are just closed right now. It's not known when will they ever get opened, but there are pictures of Taliban in the offices of universities. Their guns on the desk. They have computers in front of them, the computers that people before them had. But they don't know how to use it. Like they don't even know how to govern an office. They don't know anything.
Yeah. Have they been put in those positions in there, or is this just where they've just kind of gone into the buildings and they're taking pictures in offices?
They are taking pictures everywhere, but they are assigned to those offices.
Interesting.
It's totally frustrating.
Yeah.
People who have degrees, they're at home. But people who know nothing, they're assigned to like be the director of offices right now.
Yeah. Do young girls your age worry about having to get married?
Oh, I don't think so, because the people that I have been with, my friends, they had dreams, they had aspirations, they didn't think of marrying. Yeah, I know that's a part of life, but right now they were more worried about their future. Like they wanted to. I was studying medicine for 1 year in Afghanistan. My friends, they were all becoming doctors. Yeah, I think it's their third or fourth year right now, but they are staying at home. Like they're worried about what life would look like for them in the future. Will they ever be able to achieve that or not? They don't think of marrying at all.
I don't think of marrying, because one of the things that people see here in the United States on the news media and things like that is that they're marrying, the Taliban is there to, also marry young girls and things like that. But you're telling me your friends aren't worried about that kind of thing.
Oh, so if you mean that they're afraid that Taliban will force them into marrying, they are a little bit afraid of that. That's the truth. Yeah, we have seen reports. People are saying that this thing happened in rural areas of Afghanistan. And my friends are definitely worried about that, but they're worried about their education, about what's going to happen to their dreams and aspirations.
Sure. So what do you think that people here, let's start with people your age, what can they do? Because so many people are that are young, that are around your age, are, geniuses at social media and things like that. What can people do to help you and your friends, the girls back in Afghanistan, with what they're dealing with right now in regards to education?
Okay, so that's a little bit hard to answer, but I think maybe activism is one of the powerful things that can help us, especially right now, because I know so many things that have been changed by activist movements, like the Black Lives Matter, Palestinian movements, and all that. I know that they bring changes, definitely. And if university students, like in my age, or people who are in educational pathways, they have teachers, professors, TAs, and all those people, if they come together, if they try to advocate for girls especially, and for people of Afghanistan, I think that brings changes. If we get together, if we have a collective response to what's happening there, if we try to do something for them, like if we raise our voices and demand their rights, I think that definitely helps. But the thing is that nobody does this. Now there are so many people who don't even know that this thing is happening in Afghanistan.
Right, you're exactly right. So I'm hoping that with things like this, where people get to know you a little bit and they get to hear your story, that they will, come to the occasion and actually be involved in activist activities for girls in Afghanistan. So tell me a little bit, go backwards just a little bit, and tell me about how your family came to leave Afghanistan.
Oh, so that was like, Afghanistan is a country that has experienced displacement for like maybe more than 40 years, because of 40 years plus more than that war that is happening in Afghanistan. So in some point of life, either your parents, either your grandparents have fled, either you. So I think I was no exception. We had security threats and we had no choice but to leave Afghanistan, me and my family, in 2020. Yeah, it's never a choice to leave your home when everything was going great. Yeah, I was studying at university. My older sister, the one older than me, she had just passed her residency exam and she was accepted into Malalai Hospital. She was going there and starting her resident program as a gynecologist. My other sister, she was about to take Conquer exam. She was studying for that, preparing for it to get accepted into universities in Kabul. My other siblings, they were all studying at schools. Everything was going great, but then all of a sudden you need to leave to save your life. All of those memories that I talked about, all of my friends, my home, you need to leave everything just behind. No
Did you leave quickly?
Yeah, I think it was sudden.
And what was that journey like?
Oh, so I don't think ours was like moving through land. We had a flight, so I think we were lucky to have that. But overall, the journey was really heartbreaking. We were crying from the moment we decided to leave.
Mhm.
especially when we had a car ride and we went to the airport. I remember those days. I was looking around and then seeing my country.
Mhm.
It was hard. It was
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
I'm sure that it was. I'm very sure that it was. Well, I'll tell you what, then you got to, where did you guys go? Where did you fly into?
Yeah, we fled to Tajikistan.
Tajikistan. Okay. And what happened, and what happened there? You went in as refugees, and tell me a little bit about what that looked like in that country.
Oh, so we went there, but we didn't have the choice to live in the city.
Okay.
Dushanbe is the capital, but there are three other locations that refugees should live in. So at
Mhm.
first you're a refugee climate, you're not accepted yet. There is this interview that you need to pass, and then they will accept you if you are eligible, if you answer the questions, and if they think you're really persecuted. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, we went there 8 months passed, and then they took the interviews so that in during 8 months you cannot do anything. Like you don't have a card, you can get out. You can we basically have no rights like that. And then we had the interview. We got our refugee cards, and yeah, that's how we were accepted there. But
Mhm.
then even after you get the card, it's not like everything changes. You're still a refugee there. You're still a second-class citizen. You're treated like that, sometimes treated as a stranger, someone who doesn't belong there, someone who has to go back his country, his or her country.
Yeah, very hard, very hard. Well, one of the good things that came out of this is that you applied to Columbia University, and you are now a student at Columbia. You came in under their refugee program, right? But through regular admissions, and you're trying to figure out what you're going to study, at least from our last conversation there at Columbia. And one of the things that I do want to make sure that people know that just amazes me about you is your English, because you tell me about what you studied in English, or how much you really knew English when you were in Afghanistan.
I don't know, but I don't think it was like it is today. It was different. And in Kabul, in high school, we studied English, but it was only the language itself, and then the science subjects were English. I don't know. It doesn't teach you the English language, the science language. It's maths, it's physics, it's chemistry. It's not the language itself. And then it's only one language. Like it's not a lot that you get to have the practice.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that university, I didn't study English at all, because university, it was all in Farsi. It was in our Persian, the native language of Afghanistan. And then in Tajikistan, English is not also the language there. It is Russian and then Tajik, which is the same as Farsi, only with a difference in accent. I think the way I improved my English is through internet, the only source that I had.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, it just amazes me that you were in New York for 1 week prior to coming here just a couple of weeks ago, right? Several weeks ago. For only 1 week, you did a presentation at the United Nations. And then, you came back and your English is almost flawless. It amazes me. You also know some other languages as well.
Yeah. I know English, I know Turkish, I know Pashto, which is the other language of Afghanistan. I started studying Russian in Tajikistan, but then I didn't have the chance to, because I had applied and then I got accepted and I had to go, move to the United States. But yeah, I love languages. I think they're one of the very, important things that can enhance the learning experience that one has.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, it improves our learning abilities.
Well, you're very good at languages. That's one thing I can say. Extremely good at languages. But, Tahmina, is there anything else that you would want people to know about you, about your family, about your friends, about your country? anything that you think that maybe is misinterpreted or is not an accurate, view? Is there anything that you can think of that you'd want to make sure to say?
Well, I would say, the refugee things, there is currently a refugee crisis throughout the globe. There are maybe probably 60 million people displaced. And I think the problem, yes, we're doing a great job to help them. The UNHCR helps countless refugees throughout the globe. But the thing is that we forget about the root causes. Like there is a humanitarian crisis happening right now in Afghanistan. People have to even sell their children to get the money to, to have something to eat.
Is that happening right now?
Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, but the world forgets about doing something for them, and because of that, so many people are leaving Afghanistan because there are no jobs. There's nothing to, have the money to have something to eat, to have a place to be in. So I think the root causes are definitely ignored. It's not just about Afghanistan, it's about Syria, it's about Yemen, it's about every country that we see people are displaced from. Yeah, in Afghanistan, like for example, right now, millions of girls, they don't have the right to go to school. So many people are afraid of what's going to happen to them, so they decide to leave the country to go to another place where they can have that right to, achieve their dreams. But we don't, yes, some of them will be able to flee the country, go to somewhere else where they will be able to do that. But what about the others? What's going to happen to them? Yeah, so I think the world must do something to tackle the root causes, the things that result in refugee crisis, the things that result in displacement, like the things that, so many people are seeing Afghanistan and they're like, oh, this country has been in war for more than 40 years. But just that, they're sorry for the country, and that's enough. Like that, they don't do anything for it. Like that's not enough. I think people should act, not just humanize the people.
And I think that, you're agreeing to do interviews and things like this will help to lead people to do that. And, it's a process. Activism is a process. People have to, get involved first in order to